Alright, so let's look at this one. How do we do lookup? We just switch to select the field that you want to do lookup wizard. Now this time I'm going to pick it from another table, which is a zip table that I just import from Excel. And you can pick the fields that you wanted to show. I'm going to let it show zip, city, and state. You can even get more, like you want to see the world region, time zone, and you can sort by state. This is going to be alphabetically ordered, ascending. So that's an example data. That's going to show up. Alright, so it's pretty much done. So start to show the zip code. So if I start to type in because it happened to have the time first, so that's why when I type is actually look at the time zone first. I should have the zip code go first. Let's see if I can fix this by looking at this. So I want the zip to go first, right? And then this. So this is an SQL language. We're going to talk about that. But let's see if it works. Now zip come first, right? And then time zone. Like if I type a zip code, it start to pick up zip code, right? Of the table. Like Washington DC, and time zone is right there. If you don't want it to show time zone, you can just omit it too. Like you can just remove the time zone part here out. Or when you do the wizard, that's an easy step when you do a wizard. So it's no longer show the time zone here. And I may happen to delete a zip at the same time. Okay. Okay, so like beside typing in the SQL statement, you can actually use the wizard here to help to select. I wanted to show the zip primary. This is the fields that you want to show, right? State, city, and zip. Now if you run, so it should show an example for you like that. State, sit, and zip. Okay. So that's just another way to look at. We can just close that. So now this one doesn't show zip because let me see, because we changing something to remove something. So if I'm going to do 3, so it's going to show just state and city, right? So this is the size of the columns. So it seems like using zip as the key here. If I do 4, so that's the column. So it's used zip as a key, as a primary key here. So if I want to, like the easiest way is when you do the wizard from the beginning. Okay. Now if I want to show ID too, let's see if I said use ID. And oh, this one is actually did the ascending by zip, right? When we pick the ascending, and we already need the time zone here, we're going to just cut it out. And ascending by zip primary city, and this should be state, right? State, city, and zip, right? That's the order of ascending. When you use wizard, it's pretty much did this for you, right? Now why did it show zip though? Okay. And I want it to come before this. So let's test this again. There you go. So I show zip and make it come first like that, right? So that's just another way to do with it, to deal with this. But like I said, you may not want to, like 221551 is Springfield area, right? 2215253 Virginia, right? Like if you have done the wizard from the beginning, it's going to be easier, like I showed you earlier, right? And you can watch the earlier videos that we have. But I just show you how, if you happen to make mistake and you need to change it, do you need to do it this way? I just show you by going through the design view and switch to design view. I need to pick the right one first. Let me pick the proper zip code and state, because those are from the previous information before we use the lookup, right? Here you have to click on lookup, create a field lookup, and modify it from here, right? Pick the one that you want to show under show, right? And then if you want to reorder it, you can just move it around by clicking on it and move it like that. You want the city to come first, something like that, right? Or you want the state to come first. So you can click run to test how it look. This is just a primary key, then don't worry, it's not going to show up. Okay, now it's good. Then when you close, you come back to your view here. Now it should show state first. See that? And you can just name it as state if you want to, right? It depends on how you like to deal with this. Okay. state, city. But like I said, we don't really want to name state. We like to have zip, because after zip, then we pretty much can look up from the zip table. We know the state, right? And it's actually telling you from here. Ready? Zip, state, and city. Then we don't really need to have 3 columns here. Make sense? Okay, now I'm going to put a zip back. Then by doing click on this and move your zip back. Okay? Then we should be fine. Save the change, switch back, and my zip come first. Okay? Alright, so can be another type of lookup wizard, male, female, right? And this is not looking up from another table, it's just coming from, you pick from the list, click on gender, and you can always add more, like, what do you call male and female? Bi? Is that? Nobody's going to say that, right? Or not, you're not going to identify it or something? What do you call that? Hmm?
That's what you're looking for, right?
Okay, it's just an example, right? Then it's going to show up, not applicable. What? Because we may talk about an animal who has male and female or type of, right? Okay? And then something like that, right? How to create a lookup wizard? I can just going to show you again. Click the fields, go to lookup wizard. That's easy. But when you modify, you just need to go to lookup and change it from here. Okay, if you want to create, go to here and here, lookup wizard, and follow the wizard. Very easy to follow. Now